This stuffed crust pizza is made in 25 minutes from start to finish and has 41 grams of protein. First, preheat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius or 400 F before making the easiest dough ever. Place a bowl on a scale and add in 80 grams of flour. All-purpose flour works great here. I tried this many times with the more classic 00 flour, but in my opinion there is not much of a difference with a home oven, so the all-purpose one works perfectly fine. Next is a quarter teaspoon of baking powder and a strong pinch of salt. Give this a quick whisk and you just made your own self-raising flour. It's the exact same thing. So instead of water, I'm going to add non-fat Greek yogurt. This will not only help in making the dough, but will also add a ton of protein. At the same amount as the flour, so 80 grams. If you want to make a larger pizza or more servings, just add more flour and the same amount of Greek yogurt. As long as you stay with this ratio, the dough will work perfectly. Also add in half a teaspoon or 2 grams of olive oil to make the dough a bit softer, and then go in with your hands and start kneading and forming the dough. This will take you about 2 minutes or so. Just keep pushing the dough and try to roll it into a ball, and eventually you will end up with a small dough ball. Then place it on your board and knead the ball for a minute or two with your palm. This will create gluten and strengthen the dough, and is also what gives the pizza the texture that we all love. The finished dough ball shouldn't be sticky. If it is, you can always add another teaspoon of flour and work it into the dough ball. This entire process takes about 5 minutes. Then place the dough into the ball and let it sit there for a couple of minutes. So the actual star of this recipe is the cheese. Here I have a package of cheese sticks. You will find them in most groceries in the fridge section. It's essentially dehydrated mozzarella cheese and is perfect not only as a crust but also as the pizza topping. You will need all 4 sticks. Each one weighs about 20 grams. 3 of the cheese sticks will be stuffed into the crust, so remove them from the package, place them side by side, and then cut them into 3 centimeters or 1 inch pieces. The 4th cheese stick will be cut into very thin slices. I will use them as the pizza topping. However, because 20 grams of cheese is not a lot as a topping, I'm also going to add shredded mozzarella. About 20 grams on top of the cheese stick is enough. So in total we have 100 grams of cheese for this pizza. As the sauce, I like to buy a store-bought tomato sauce. Not only do they taste pretty good in my opinion, but you can also scoop out the amount that you want, then close the lid and refrigerate it. It will last there for about a week. Just watch out for the calories. Try to buy one that is in the 30 to 50 calorie range per 100 grams of sauce. A lot of them have a ton of oil and sugar in it, so it's better to check the calorie label. So, take out a baking sheet, add a little bit of oil on the surface and spread it around. Now take your dough, place it on the sheet and slowly form a round pizza shape. In my experience, it's best to push down the middle of the dough and slowly work your way towards the edges. I also like to flip the dough a couple of times and keep forming until you got yourself a round and nice looking pizza. It's important to press down the edges flat, that's where you will create this stuffed crust. Next, take your prepared cheese sticks and place them around the edges, leaving a bit of space between each cheese stick and also between the cheese and the edge of the dough. Next, take the dough and roll it over the cheese towards the middle of the pizza, and do this with all of the cheese. At the end, the raw crust will look like a regular pizza, except it's stuffed with cheese. This is super easy to make. Once you've formed the entire crust, place the sauce on a scale and scoop out about 50 to 70 grams of tomato sauce and spread it on top of the pizza. You can use more if you want. I prefer a thin layer of sauce, but that's personal preference. Then add the 4th thinly sliced cheese stick, the 20 grams of shredded mozzarella as well. I also like to add some dried oregano and a couple of cranks of black pepper, and lastly 3 leaves of fresh basil. Absolutely beautiful. This now gets into the preheated oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Keep checking the pizza after 10 minutes or so, and as soon as the cheese starts to become golden brown and the crust has color as well, remove it from the oven. And I mean, look at this absolute beauty. And it even has a nice crust at the bottom, and all of that in about 25 minutes from start to finish. The macros for the entire pizza are 685 calories, 69 grams of carbs, 27 grams of fat and 41 grams of protein. I made a cookbook that helped me go from this to this without even thinking about being on a diet. 190 low-calorie, high-protein recipes from breakfast, lunch or dessert, and even nutritional tables or protein sources. Everything you need is in here. And the best part is that I will constantly be updating the book with new recipes, and you will get every recipe update for free once you've purchased it. Join the thousands of people that already bought the book. The link is in the description.